Hello, everyone. This is your host, and tonight's episode of WWE Raw is the go-home show for this weekend's WWE Wrestlemania 41. We are just days away from the biggest show of the year, and everything is starting to come to a head. The build-up has been phenomenal. And while there still are some questions that need answers, we got plenty of new developments on tonight's show. But anyway, now let's get back to the latest WWE news. After weeks of trying to stay away from each other, Seth Rollins finally came face-to-face with Logan Paul. Last week, things got physical when they brawled inside the Performance Center, but their match at WrestleMania is still up in the air. Well, after a contract signing segment, we know that the bout is now officially on, and it looks like it could be one of the biggest matches of the night. During the contract signing, both men went back and forth, sizing each other up and insulting each other's families. At one point, Logan Paul even threatened to expose the secret affair that Seth Rollins is having with Becky Lynch, and then he reminded Rollins of how he failed to win the world title at WrestleMania. Eventually, things started to get physical, and it looked like Rollins was going to attack, but instead he stopped himself and signed the contract. Later, when Paul turned his back, Seth did attack and beat him down with a steel chair, and then he kept attacking him even after he signed the contract. In the end, both men are now eligible to fight at WrestleMania, and it should be a good one. The main event of WrestleMania is said to be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, but the Bloodline has thrown a wrench into those plans. On last week's Raw, Solo Sikoa attacked Cody Rhodes and caused him to lose his match. And then Roman Reigns made a shocking announcement. He revealed that his father, the late and great Pat Patterson, had told him years ago that if he ever became Universal Champion, he was allowed to name the number one contender. And he chose his cousin, Solo Sikoa. Because of this, it will be a number one contenders match at WrestleMania between Cody and Sikoa. And the winner will face Roman Reigns for the title. While Roman may have technically done nothing wrong, this was a huge swerve. And it also means that Cody won't get his one-on-one match with Roman at the event. Now, I personally think that this was the right move. I'm glad they didn't just give Cody a free title shot. He had to earn it, and he has. A big win over Solo would still put him in line for a title match. Plus, it makes Roman look smarter and more cunning by adding another layer to his character. Now, I will say that the way they handled the reveal of Solo being the next challenger was kind of dumb. I don't understand why Solo wasn't called up to the main roster sooner. They waited until after Fastlane to make the announcement. And honestly, I think they should have done it earlier so that Solo could have had more time to build up his character. Either way, it is what it is. And now we have our triple threat match for the main event. It should be an awesome way to cap off the show. Speaking of Roman Reigns, he appeared on Miz TV this week and it led to an altercation with Edge. The Rated R superstar came out to confront Roman about what he did to his friend, Sami Zayn. Of course, this led to a six-pack steel cage match at Elimination Chamber, which Roman won, but Edge hasn't let it go. During the segment, Edge continued to trash-talk Roman, and it led to a brawl. The Usos ran in and attacked Edge, and then eventually Roman got involved as well. This whole thing spilled outside, where Edge got the upper hand and hit a beautiful crossbody off the stage onto Roman. This storyline feels like it's heading towards a collision course between Roman and Edge. Maybe we'll see them square off at SummerSlam this year. Who knows? But one thing is for sure, things are heating up. On last week's SmackDown, The Undertaker made a surprise return to confront his former Ministry of Darkness brother, the current WWE Champion, Bray Wyatt. After the segment, there was speculation that maybe the Dead Man would challenge Bray for the title at WrestleMania. But according to reports, that's not going to happen. Instead, it looks like the match at WrestleMania will be a singles match between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. The two have been going back and forth for weeks now, and it looks like their rivalry will culminate in a championship match. Bray has been dealing with a lot of personal issues as of late, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep it together and retain his title. We also got our triple threat tag team match for WrestleMania. It will be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits. All six men brawled on tonight's Raw, and it was pretty awesome. It's always fun when these big battles happen inside the ring, and this was no exception. In the end, though, the winners were announced as Owens, Zayn, and the Street Profits, so they'll be moving on to face the Viking Raiders at the event. As far as predictions go, I think Owens and Zayn are probably going to win. The Viking Raiders are a strong contender, but I just feel like KO and Sami deserve it a little more. One match that was announced for this weekend's WrestleMania is Bianca Belair versus Asuka. These two women have been on a collision course for months now, and it looks like they're finally going to settle the score at the event. On last week's SmackDown, Belair came out to confront Asuka and her Damage Cutrell stablemates, Dakota Kai and IYO Sky. This led to a 6-woman tag team match where Bianca and the returning Tamina Snuka took on Damage Cutrell. In the end, Belair got the win after hitting the KOD on Sky. Now she'll get her one-on-one rematch against Asuka, and I think it's going to be a good one. Damage Cutrell wasn't involved in the original match, so I'm assuming they won't be allowed at ringside for the rematch. That should make things easier for Belair, but Asuka is a tough opponent. She's not afraid to use dirty tactics, and she has her sights set on becoming a double champ. And finally, we have the Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and The Miz. The two met in the ring this week, and things got physical. The Awesome One tried to attack Gunther with a steel chair, but the ring general fought back and gave him a taste of his own medicine. Eventually, they brawled all around the arena, and the segment ended with Gunther standing tall. As far as predictions go, I think Gunther is definitely retaining here. The Miz has held the IC title for 365 days already, and it's time for someone else to shine. Gunther has been dominant throughout his entire career, and it's only a matter of time before he does something special. So that's all the latest news. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree? And who do you think is going to win at WrestleMania? For me, I'm leaning towards Seth Rollins over Logan Paul. I think he's going to have a great showing and pick up a huge win, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video and make sure to check out my channel for all the latest news and reviews. Thanks for watching.